Predominance. Okay. So a predominant, okay, as you can tell by the word there, what do you think that might mean? What is a predominant, do you suppose, if you had a guess?
It's a chord that comes before a 5 in like a cadence.
Right. Okay. So we have kind of three functions of chords. Right? We have tonic chords, okay, which is basically like one or you know the minor one if you're in a minor key, and then we have dominance. Okay, so 5 or sometimes 7 diminished 6. Okay, like in a opening tonic expansion like that. We don't use 7 at a cadence. We use 5, but 7 can expand the tonic, and it's a dominant functioning chord. Okay, and then the other category we have is predominance. Okay, so tonic, predominant, and then dominant. Okay, so a predominant, of course, as Tatum said, as you can figure out from the prefix there, it comes before the dominant. Okay, comes, but most of the time anyway, comes before the dominant. Okay, and we're going to learn about two today, although there is a third one. Okay, this is for predominance we have, and I think you guys have seen these chords before. We have 4, and then we have 2. Okay, and they occur, if they both occur at the same time, they occur in that order. They go backwards. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll put it. It's not in your handout, but I'll put it here too. So 6, 4, and then 2. So 6, 4, and 2 are all predominant chords, and sometimes in specific cadence, 6 can serve as a tonic, but typically 6 is a predominant functioning chord. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So of course, in a major key, okay, we could have something like this. I'll just let's do G major. Okay. So if we have this, so a very stable, strong harmonic progression would be 1, and then we could go 6, 4, 2 if we use all 3, and then we could go 5, 1. Okay, like that, or 5, 7, 1, but I'll just use all triads. All right, so if we did that now, our bass would be bum, 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 like that, okay? See how they all go down by thirds? Okay, and then we'll fill these out here. Okay. In fact, does this progression sound familiar? You guys have done it before, or well, not this exact one, but
Descending thirds.
well, not descending thirds. Descending thirds is that's called a sequence, and you'll learn that next semester in 102. But so remember this progression, like 1, 4, 5, 7, 1. Your key establishment that you did weeks ago. Yeah, so this is kind of a little elaboration on that. So if to establish G major, we have, okay, so we have our tonic here. Okay, T is for tonic, PD is predominant, and then D is for dominant. Okay, so we have tonic here. And then we have our predominant space, so all those 3 chords there. Okay, and then our dominant, and then our tonic. Okay, so these are kind of all predominant chords here. And then we go to our dominant, and then our tonic. Okay, and sometimes these can be in first inversion, like 2, 6 is typically 2 is the one that's typically in first inversion. In fact, it appears more often in first inversion than root position, but you can have it either way. So, and then 2/6 would have C in the bass, and then like that. Okay. All right. So now let's come up with another one here, and I'll do a little bit of a shorter one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1. Okay. And then I'll use I'm not going to use 6. I'm going to skip over 6, and then I'll go 4. Okay. And then I'll use 2, and then 5, 1. Okay. Okay. Or another one that would work is 1, 6, 4, 5, 1, or 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, like that. Okay. So the idea here is that in predominant space, okay, if you use, okay, so our 3 predominant chords are 6, 4, and 2, and you are, switch a color here, you can skip any of these, but you have move to the right, okay? In other words, don't go backwards, okay? Because that doesn't make sense. Don't go backwards, okay? So in other words, you don't want to go like, if you start at 4, and if you want to include another predominant, it has to be 2 because that's going right. You don't want to go 4 back to 6. That doesn't make sense. Okay. In Western classical music, we don't do that. So, if you wanted to go directly from 1 to 2, okay, you can't have 4 or 6 after that, okay, because that's going backwards, okay. So it's in descending order, okay. 6, 4, 2, okay. And notice here, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1, 1, 6, 4, 5, 1, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. So in each one I skipped one of the predominant chords. And then, of course, you can skip 2 predominant chords, and it'd be a little bit easier because you would only have 1 predominant chord that you use. So 1, 6, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, which I'm sure you guys have heard of before, and then 1, 2, 5, 1. Okay, those all sound nice. And of course, if you end on a half cadence, you would just stop with the 5. Okay, you wouldn't resolve it to 1. Okay. And then, of course, if you use all 3 predominant chords, you have 1, 6, 4, 2, 5, 1. Like that. Okay. So in a sense, those are all of the possible combinations. So there's 1 with all 3 predominants, 3 with 2 of the predominants, and then 3 with the only 1 predominant. Okay. Does that make sense so far? Okay. This will take, it may seem like a little weird, like how do you know which one, but you'll get better at it with practice, okay? Now, let me go over these in a minor key. So in a minor key, everything works exactly the same way, but we do have to make a few little modifications. So in minor, okay, in minor keys, okay, we have 1, and then 6 is, of course, a triad in a minor key. Then we have 4, okay, and then we have 2, which is actually a diminished triad, okay. And that this is all ringing a bell here. It's been a while since we've talked about some other chords, but yeah. So if we do G minor, G minor instead of G major, we have, and then we would have to modify. We wouldn't do that. Okay. So because we don't want, okay, we don't want a diminished diminished position. Okay. To diminish must be in first inversion. Okay. And that's the same. It's the same type of deal with 7 diminished. Okay. We always have it in first inversion, except when we get to sequences, but we're not going to learn those this semester. So, okay. Very, very important there. So here we'll put 2 diminished 6. Okay. And then 5, 1 like that. Okay. So if we did this same progression in G minor, 1, 6, 4, 2, 6, 5. Okay. So if we did that, we'll change G major to G minor. Okay, so 1, 6, 4, 2 diminished 6, and then 5, 1. So bum, and it's going to look almost identical to the one before. But notice, we don't go down to A, we just keep it at C. Okay? So here, and then here. Okay, and then we'll double the third there. Okay, the third of the chord, and then of course now we need to manually raise the leading tone, right? You want a strong authentic cadence there. Okay, so now so that's what that looks like. And if you go back to the major key here, okay, you can totally have 2 6 if you want. Okay, so instead of an A minor chord in first or in root position, you can have it in second or first inversion. So you could go. Okay, so in a major key, the 2 chord can be in first inversion. In a minor key, the 2 chord must be in first inversion. Okay. All right, good so far? All right, cool. All right, so now let's work out our progressions here. So let's see, 1, 6, 4, 2 diminished 6, 5, 1, and then if we now the other ones are just going to look. It's going to be the minor key analogs of the major ones. So 1, 6, 4, 5, 1, 1, 6, 2 diminished 6, 5, 1, 1, 4, 6, 5, 1. So I've skipped each. Oh, that's not what I want. So the ones in yellow are the ones that I skipped over. Okay, and remember, notice I'm going 6, 4, 2 constantly forward, never backwards. Okay, and then here 1, 1, 6, 5, 1, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 6, 5, 1.